Okay. First call of the year. Yay. All right. So lots of things to cover. So I want to kind of go fast through the first stuff. And the first thing, we're waiting for Kimberly, so I won't get into the meat of anything until she shows up. But first of all, summit tickets are going on sale again. Like, they won't be super expensive, but $155. And I think that's going to happen in the next couple of days for the rest of the month of January. So anybody who doesn't have a summit ticket, who wants to go to summit, now would be a good time to do that. But I'm pretty sure Kimberly has her ticket already, but I will mention it to her. But that's number one. Number two, we're going to have a free group starting the 14th of January. I figured next week might be a little too soon. But I figured with kind of all the eating that happens over the holidays, an ab group might be something fun to do. So if you want to participate in that as a poster or adding people to the group and so on and so forth, let me know so I can leave you in there as an admin. It's going to be the same group. I will clean it up again. That said, go through the list of people that you added the last time and message every single one of them. Message them, hey, thanks for joining our, was it a butt group? I don't even remember at this point. My brain's a little fried.
Squats.
Thank you. Thanks for joining our squat group. We've got an ab group coming up starting on the 14th. Let me know if you want to join. This is what mine says. You don't have to say this. Also, if you would like information on our 30-day accountability groups, I'd love to tell you more. That's kind of the gist of what mine says. But go ahead and follow up with those people because I'm going to start cleaning that group up. I'll give you guys probably a week or so to, there she is. Looks like she's in Seattle. So go ahead and I'll give you guys a week to sort of get a list of the people who you need to follow up with out of the free group, Kimberly, so that I can then clean it up. And so after a week, so what's today? Thursday. So next Thursday night, probably Wednesday actually, I'm going to put a post in there about this is going to change to an ab group. And if you want to stay in, you need to comment. If they don't comment by Wednesday, so if they don't comment by Friday, they're coming out. So don't lose the opportunity to follow up with the people that you added. Okay. Kimberly, you have a summit ticket already, right? Yeah, you even have a hotel room. Okay. And Stacy, yeah. Okay, good. All right. Ooh, Rachel, fun. Okay. Oh, and a picture at that. Okay. All right. Well, I'll have to go back to Summit Ticket in a second. So that said, please make a note of all the people in the group that you need to follow up with. Do it because I'm going to be taking people out. AB group. If you guys want to be part of that group as a participator, let me know. Raise your hand real quick. AB group people. Anyone? Everyone? Yes. Do I see Lizzie's hand? Lizzie probably. I see Kimberly. Lizzie. I'm going to count Lizzie in. Rachel probably too, because she's here. All right, very good. Team Cup is coming up. Registration starts on the 12th, I believe, or something like that, whenever that is. Do you guys want to, okay, thank you, Lizzie. Do you guys want to be in a team together? I don't know much about it. I didn't read the FAQ yet. I just know it's coming. I'm assuming we're gonna have to have, it's usually 1 diamond or above plus 4 others, so 5 team members. Anybody want to be on a team together? Anyone? Bueller? Kimberly does. Okay. Stacy does. Okay. Lizzie does. All right, good. There's that. And then I'll repeat the summit stuff when Rachel comes back on. Okay. There she is. I'll repeat it at the end. It's the same picture of her stairs, I think. All right, goal setting. So I want to talk about goal setting. Has anybody in here already set their goals? Anyone set their goals for 2019? Business, personal, I don't care. Has anybody set any goals? I'm not talking about resolutions because I hate them. I'm talking about goals. Anyone? No.
I've set some personal goals.
I like personal goals. So you've done a little bit of work there. Okay.
Yes.
So that's good. All right. So you're in Brendan. Oh, well, then you have set goals if you're in Brendan's thing. You have this. Y'all have this. Yeah. I got my planner. It's a Brendan planner. It's the Brendan planner. It's good.
I bought one and then gave it to my husband. So now I've had to buy myself a new one. And so it'll be here soon. But he's doing this free transformation week thing. So you can check that out.
Yeah. And you'll probably be
that's
putting goals in there anyway. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So the question is, why would you set goals? So that you have focus and direction, right? I think it's really hard to accomplish anything when you're not focused. I mean, let me give you an example, small example. So tonight, there were 3 things I wanted to do before this call. One of them was to use Cleaner for Instagram, clean up some stuff, add some new people, do my stories, 4 things, and send, Rachel's trying to join. I'm just going to tell her to join one more time. Hold on just a second. Hold on. And the 4th thing is to message some people from the free group. So I started Cleaner, and I couldn't get in. Like, it's not working right now for whatever reason. And I got frustrated, and so I got bogged down in that and didn't do the other things because my focus was not right. So I'm kind of bummed that I did that. So you have to have focus and direction. Goals help you have focus and direction. Okay. So your goals need to have relevance to your life right now. What's going on in your life, how your life is working for you, so on and so forth. So you guys are all and have different things going on. Rachel too. So Rachel's got 2 little kids. She'll listen to this call later. She's got 2 little kids. Kimberly's got 4 little girls and a full-time job as a college professor. Stacy's got all kinds of things going on. And Lizzie's a world traveler. So we've got all kinds of different things going on here, right? I have, I like to call my hairy lifestyle with all my animals. Like, I spend so much time with my animals. So we've got a lot of different stuff going on. And your goals need to be relevant to your life stage. So my goals are not going to be the same as Lizzie's, as Kimberly's, as Stacy's. And they shouldn't be. So they need to be relevant to you right now. So make sure that as you're setting your goals, you think, is this relevant to my life right now? Is this something that fits my lifestyle? They need to have value for you, for yourself. So, are these goals valuable? Like, is it valuable for me to think about my rank advancement, for example? Is that valuable to me? Well, yeah, it is. Is my rank advancement valuable to either of you, any of you? No, it's not. But your goals need to be valuable to you. Otherwise, you won't strive to reach them. Here's the other thing, and Brendan talks a lot about this, necessity. Is it necessary for you? If it's not, you will not push for it, period. So there's 3 things that goals need to be. I want, when you guys think about your goals, and I know, Stacy, you said you've set some personal goals. Let me ask you this question, Stacy. Do those goals set you on fire? Do they get you excited? Okay. I want your goals to set you on fire. I don't want them to make you scared. Well, scared's okay, actually. A little scared's okay. I don't want them to make you freak out like deer in the headlights. I want them to make you excited. Like, you wake up in the morning and you're like, okay, what can I do? Baby steps towards that goal. What can I do today? I'm excited about it. What can I do? All right. So let's see. I was reading something that I wrote in my planner that's right next to my notes. And I was like, oh, look, I was more motivated today than I have been in the last month. It's true. So that said, it is, and y'all have heard this before, but SMART goals, you know what SMART goals are? Yeah. I'm just going to reiterate it because I think that everybody talks about it. And I think it's really important because it doesn't make a whole lot of sense if your goals aren't SMART. SMART would be specific. They're very specific. So, you can't say like, well, you could, but it wouldn't work. But, you could say, I want to eat better. That's not very specific. I want to follow an eating plan to the T, make it all the way through without losing my marbles and going off the rails. Very specific, right? Measurable. You want to be able to measure that goal. Is it something, and I think like my personal goals are measurable for the most part. My business goals are very measurable. The nebulous goals just don't work. They have to be something that you can say, like the trackers that we use, those are very measurable. And that's a really good way to push yourself towards your goal, is to find a tracker that works for you. So I'm using a planner. I'll probably use a tracker at some point in time. We used a tracker towards the end of the year. I can't remember what the group was called, with the Dynasty, that I thought was actually really good. And it was very specific and it was very measurable. It told you exactly. Stacy, were you in that group? Did you get those? Oh, they were really good. Send me a message at some point and remind me to send you pictures of the tracker, because it was really good. And it gave, Kimberly used it, gave really very specific, she kind of used it, like numbers for you. If you're a business starter, how many people you should be reaching out over the course of a day, over the course of a week, how many times you should be posting on social media, so on and so forth. It was very specific to the business, clearly, but it was super helpful because it gave you a frame of reference as to how to measure whether you're pushing towards that or not. So that was really good. Okay, so the next one, and I think attainable is what they say for this, and I think that's really important. But at the same time, don't let that limit you. So I'll give you an example. So, I'll give you two examples that are specific and measurable and attainable, I think. One of them would be like, I want to have a certain amount of money in a bank account to pay for Mason's school, because he's going out of state and it's ridiculously expensive. And so I don't want to be stressed out financially. I'd rather have a pool of money to be able to pull from. So that's very specific, it's very measurable, and it's really attainable. The number that I've set out for myself, it's really attainable. So that's a big goal for us right now, is college savings. The other one is, I would like to reach 5-star diamond by the end of the year, okay? What would not be attainable is if I said I want to reach 15-star diamond. That would be dumb. Because I can't, and I don't want to. I don't have time to work that hard to reach that goal. Is it attainable for me to reach 6-star diamond? I don't know, maybe, but I think it is attainable to reach 5-star diamond. It is a push. I think it's extremely attainable for me to reach 2-star diamond at some point in time this year, but that to me isn't scary enough. So I have to go a little further than that and say 5-star. Because 2-star I think is doable, because like I'm looking at you two and I'm thinking 2-star, and I'm looking at Lizzie and looking at Kimberly and going 1-star. Attainable, maybe a little scary for you, Kimberly, but attainable, absolutely. Lizzie, diamond, absolutely. Attainable, absolutely. Measurable, for sure. Smart, yes. I think we have Rachel back. All right. And then relevant. We talked about relevance and goals. They have to be relevant to your lifestyle right now. And then time bound. I'm getting feedback. There we go. So time bound would be you need to have a time frame. So for everything, like my financial goal with Mason's College Fund, well, duh, it needs to be there by August because that's when he goes to school, and that's when I get my first bill. Actually, I get my first bill in July, but I need that money there by August. 2-star for me is by Summit, and 5-star would be by December 31st. Time bound. I want these things time bound. I have a million goals that I need to really put out on a piece of paper. Which brings me to the next point, write them down. Don't just have them in your head. I would love for you guys, you don't have to send me your goals. I don't care. I would like to know your business goals just so I can help you reach them, but your personal stuff, but I mean, if you want to send me them, great. If not, it's fine. But what I would like you to do is write them down and at least say, hey, Kim, I wrote them down. Send me a picture of it if you want to. Send me the back of the page if you don't want me to see what they are. But that they're written down, because I did not write my goals down last year. 2018 was a tough year for me. Not gonna lie, I think a couple of us had tough years in 2018 for a variety of reasons, but that's okay. And I don't think we're the only ones in the network that had a rough time with 2018. But it was tough. And part of that for me was that I did not write my goals down. So every time I sat down to think about it, I was like, what were those goals? I mean, I knew like the big ones, but there are a lot of little ones along the way that get you to the big goals. You can't just say, I want to be 5-star, and then not have goals and steps to get you there. You can't do that. It doesn't work. Something that I think is really important is to rewrite those goals, and they could be word for word at least once a month. So at the beginning of the month, you write your goals. At the beginning of the next month, or the end of that month probably would be a better time to do it, write them again. And it doesn't matter how you're doing it. I don't care if it's on an Excel spreadsheet or a Word document or a pen and paper planner or a vision board. I don't care how you're doing it, but you need to revisit those goals every time and go back and think to yourself, hey, are these goals relevant still? Are they valuable to me? And are they necessary for my life right now? Those are super, super important. So I think that it's really important to do that on a regular basis. Now, something that has helped me, it was funny because in that Dynasty group, which I think y'all are in, all of you are in that Dynasty group. Yeah, did you see the launch party that they did yesterday? It's just Bonnie and Matt Way. But one thing they talked about was these planners, and sometimes like Bonnie said she opened up Lindsay's Brendan planner and she was like, like it was totally overwhelming to her. To me, this is really good, and something that I learned when we went to that conference, which I highly recommend those of you that haven't been. I want to go again. I'll go with you. Kimberly will too. It'll be fun. So something that I learned there was that at the end of the day, you need to plan out, and it's funny because I heard a 1-minute Shalene thing today. She said the exact same thing. Plan out your next day the day before. Know what you're going to read, know what you're going to look at, know what you're going to do. Plan it out the day before. It makes everything go so much smoother the next day, because then your brain is not always trying to spin, trying to figure out, what was I doing? We're too old at this point to try to remember that stuff. It needs to be written down. I mean, feel realistic, right? Or in Rachel's case, she's got 2 really little kids. Believe me, I can't imagine having to try to remember stuff when my kids were that little. So she's not old. Neither is Lizzie, really. But that's important. And this year, or already, you're old. No, I'm just kidding. You're not. You're so young. So the rewrite these goals monthly, but try to take, hey girlfriend, try to take these little action steps daily. You know, plan out your day before, write it down. I don't care how you do it. Doesn't matter to me. Planner fine, not planner fine. But do that, and do it. Try to do it every day, even if those things that you're writing down in your planner have nothing to do with your business. I mean, the stuff that I had for the most part was clean the floors, check on my horses, team call, like there were some business things in there, but there were some that weren't, and that's okay. But the fact that you have it all written down will make your day go so much smoother, which pushes you towards, she's not. She says, Rachel's like, I'm out, but she's not. She's right there. I see her. So plan your steps towards your goals. So when you rewrite your goals once a month, even if, let's say into January, you're going to rewrite your goals again, going into February, make some action plan steps within those goals that make them feel more attainable. So if I sat here today and said, I'm going to hit 5-star, it would freak me out. Like, that's too big right now of a goal for me to even think about. So I need to go, no, back up. I need to go for 2-star right now and just be patient with that. Rachel's going to write down her goals and plan out her day. She heard that part. Let's see. So as you do things in your, like, you've written your stuff down for the day, you've written your stuff down for the month, as you do them, cross them off. There's some science behind that that I've actually read. Kimberly is nodding her head because I bet she has too, that you get I think it's like adrenaline and dopamine dump every time you cross something off the list, because it feels good. I mean, like, I will have some things tomorrow that I need to do that are like stupid, and I know I'm going to accomplish them, but I write them down anyway because I want to cross them off the list. You know, like, I know for a fact. And I think it's really important to do that exercise daily to be able to get that dopamine push through your system so you feel good, because it feels good to finish things, you guys. So the last thing I want to say about goals is that you need to stick with them. You need to rewrite them. You need to keep planning them. And you need to keep reviewing them to make sure that they're still relevant, that they're still valuable, and that they're still necessary in your life right now. And just because the things that you write in January, just because you write goals in January doesn't mean that your goals have to remain the same throughout the year. Things could happen where you might accomplish more because you've been so focused on your goals. But it could happen that you accomplish less too. And you rewrite them because something might have come up that makes it difficult for you to reach that goal. So you rethink it and you make it still relevant, still necessary, and still important to you and valuable. And that doesn't have to be a negative thing. You don't have to not reach a goal and then be sad about it. You know, that's okay if you didn't reach a goal. Or if you have to rewrite your goal or change the framework around your goal because things in your life have changed. But it is super important to rewrite them regularly so that you don't end up at the end of the year going, well, crap, there's no way I could have done that. What was I thinking? And then at the end of the year, you're all sad because you didn't do it. So that said, rewrite your goals regularly and stick with it, and don't be slacking on it, because these are important to you. Otherwise, they wouldn't be flopping around in your head, right? So everybody, write your goals out, make a plan, rewrite them, find a way to track yourself. I don't care how you do it. You can do a tracker, you can do a planner, whatever it is. I am personally, so the front of these Brendan planners are blank. And there's a little thing with my name in it, but this part is blank. This is going to be the place where I'm going to write my goals. A couple years ago, I did a goal setting exercise that was really good that I got from another coach, and I forgot to bring it downstairs. But I'm going to go run upstairs real quick. So talk amongst yourselves, because I want to grab it and tell you what the framework of it was. I won't tell you what the goals are because it's like 3 or 4 years old. But the framework of it was really helpful of ways to think about goals in your life. So hold, please. Talk amongst yourselves.
What up, Stacy?
How was your Christmas?
It was good. We were in Denver. I drove actually right past Kim's house, but didn't get a chance to stop and say anything to her. But anyway, it was good. How about yours?
It was good. You were here in town though for a while, weren't you, before Christmas?
Just a couple of days, and my family was driving me absolutely bonkers. So, you know, of course, there's never enough time, and everybody felt like they were getting shorted.
Yep.
So it was stressful. But yeah, I had to rehearse like each day I was there. So yeah.
Okay. Thank you for talking amongst yourselves. Lizzie, it's fine that you're not in picture. It's fine. I'm glad you can hear us. Okay. So this was a way to, so you have a vision for yourself, and that gives you a framework for your goals. Okay. So my vision, this was like 4 years ago, but it was close-knit family, financial freedom, help others realize the same goals. And in order to do that, there were 7, and she called it the 7 F's. So it was what the F of setting goals. So I liked it because it made a lot of sense to me, because the different areas of my life that I wanted to set goals in, they were very accurate to this. So the first one was finances, which includes your business. The second area was food and nutrition. The third was fun. The fourth was faith. Then friends and relationships, free time, and family. And so that's how I'm going to set my goals this year, because it actually, the year that I did this was the year that I hit 1 star. It was like 3 years ago. And it worked. And so then last year, when it came around to goal setting time, I blew it off. And it was very apparent. And as I look back at 2018, there's a bunch of stuff. I have no excuses at all. Nothing went on that should have kept me from reaching goals. It's just that I didn't really have any. Like I said, I'd like to hit 2 star at some point during the year. That was my only goal. And I never wrote it down. Never. Every single day since I've started this Brendan planner, I've written down, because there's a question that they ask you every day. Actually, the question is, the big projects I have to keep in mind that I want to take on, even if I can't act towards them today. Every single day they ask that question. Every single day. 2 star, Success Club 10. I write it down every single day. Clearly, Success Club 10 is a lot easier to hit than 2 star, but still, those are 2 big projects for me that I want on my radar every single day. But I'm going to write my goals based on that framework. You don't have to do that. I'm just saying. It's just something to think about, and I'm sure Brendan's going to have a plan for you. And Kimberly, I just thought this was interesting. So that group that we're doing, and Stacy, you're in it too. I think is Lizzie in there? I don't even know. Sure. She'll tell us. So just, I don't know, like 2 months ago, maybe less. Nope. Do you want to be in it, Lizzie? Do you want me to tag you in the post that has the information? I think I did tag you in the post that has the information in the refinery. I'm happy to do it. It just started like 2 days ago, and it's the whole year. So, no, Kimberly says you need to be in it. Okay, Kimberly, you remember where that post is in the refinery? Can you tag Lizzie in it? Okay. And Rachel, not that you're here, but you'll hear us. Don't let it go by the wayside. You're not a jerk, and you're not a gray blob either, girlfriend. So this group you need. I can tell by the way you're talking. You need the group, girlfriend. And so Rachel, I'm going to tag Rachel in it too. But Matt Way did the high performance coaching thing, and she is now a certified high performance coach, which is exciting for me because I feel like we're going to get a ton of that through this group, and I'm super excited about that. So I feel like I'm getting like a free high performance coach. Woohoo! So anyway, that's pretty cool. So that's it. That's all I wanted to say. Oh, they took away my 40-minute time limit. That was nice. That's it. That's all I wanted to talk about. I just wanted to make sure that you guys had sort of an idea of what goal setting is supposed to be like. Not that I'm any awesome at it, because clearly I didn't do it last year and it showed. But I think I'm a good example of what can happen when you do set goals and when you don't set goals, because the prior year when I did set goals, I hit 1 star. The next year when I said I was going to hit 2 star, I never did because I never set a goal. So you got to do it. So I want you guys to do that. Do you think that's fair, that y'all can all set some goals? Yes, I'll take a picture of it. I don't care if you see it. I'll put it in the team. I'll put it in the comments of the thing about tonight's call.
Okay. Yeah, I was going to ask you because I got most of them written down.
I know I talked kind of quick. I'll put it in there. I thought I had 40 minutes, so I was trying to talk quickly. But I'll take a picture of it and put it in the group tonight.
How'd you get upgraded?
Eh?
How'd you get upgraded? Are you paying now?
No.
It just said something like you were upgraded by the host.
Yeah.
I didn't do anything. I've never given them a credit card, so woo. I bet you next time we'll have 40 minutes. That's okay. 40 minutes is all we need. I don't want to take all y'all's time when you could be writing your goals out. So something else that I'll say really quick, because I know that Stacy, I know Kimberly is, I know I am. Lizzie's super busy, so she doesn't have as much. Well, we're all super busy, but you know what I'm saying? Okay, anyway, what I'm trying to say is I know a lot of us spend a lot of time in groups where there's a lot of information that's given out. Can we use that information this year, y'all? Can we put it into use? Because I love information. I am a librarian. I am a sponge of information, but we need to be not just taking it in, but actually putting it into action. Okay, so can we make a commitment to each other that we're going to try to put to use the information that we're gathering this year, and really use it to forward our goals? Is that fair? Is that fair? Yeah.
Shalane did an hour-long thing on just that.
Okay, so clearly it's not just us.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I mean, she said something about how like people who don't do anything with stuff like driver nuts or whatever. Is that the one you were talking about, Stacy?
It's in the MIA group that she does, the training that she does, and she literally spent an hour talking about that. You're gathering all this information, but you're not using it. So the only person to blame is yourself. I mean, she put it out there, and I walked away going, damn.
Well, I mean, yeah, and
I guess that, you know, like to a certain extent, like I get so much in my brain that I then kind of get paralyzed by it, and I'm like, and I'm also kind of an all or nothing person, which means I'm more of a nothing person, because if I can't do it right, I'm not going to do it at all.
Perfectionism at its finest. So, okay, I read a really good book in my car. I've listened to a really good book. It was called, right? It was called Creating Magic by Lee Cockrell. It's a Disney. He was a senior executive VP or something, some big title at Disney. Dude does not have a college degree. Dude is amazing. And he did so many amazing things at Disney. But this book is about creating magic. And it's so good. It's so good. It's such a good PD book. But I finished it today and I was thinking, okay, what am I going to take away from this? And one of the things that I took away from it, and I think this is my goal. This is my goal with my PD, is to be able to take one thing away from every PD experience that I have, whether it's a group, whether it's a book or a conference I go to, you know, whatever it is, I want to have something to take away from it. So something that I took away, I'll give you an example from the Disney thing, was at the end of every 30 days in my challenge group, I'm going to send a message to every single person that was a part of that group, whether they participated or not. And I think I sent one to you, Stacy, even. I don't know that I sent one to Kimberly because she kind of been participating. But I'm sending a message to everybody at the end of it saying, hey, how did your group go? How did your 30 days go? What can I sent one to Lizzie. What can I do to support you going forward? What are your goals? Tell me. I'm going to do that at the end of every 30 days because I feel like I am needing to connect with my people a little bit more. And I think that's something that happened last year that wasn't good, is that I was going through the motions and not truly connecting with people. And my mantra was supposed to be last year, connection, not consumption. But I'm going to put that into effect now this year. And so I sent about 70 messages out saying, what can I do to support you with your goals in health and fitness? I sent one to Lizzie. She saw it. And so I want to connect with people, generally want to connect with people, but that's something I took away from that was that more connection. I need to connect to people more on a real level, not just on a surface level, not just on a posting in a group level, but on a personal level. And so that's something I took away from that. But it's a really, really, and I'm sure if you guys read it or listened to it, you'd come away with something completely different. So I'd love for you guys to listen to that because it will give you so many ideas on how to lead and how to connect with people and how to be a better person for your people, even if it's just your family. I mean, seriously, it's so good. But I highly recommend that one. So service, it's a really good book about service too, because that's what Disney's famous for. So yeah, so that's what I would say. But I would love for you guys to get some goals set. We'll try to do these calls twice a month. So not every week, it's too much. Twice a month and have topics to discuss at each of them, not just like, hey, let's hop on a call and waste some time. No, they're going to be purposeful. And that's something that's my job. And it's one of my goals is to be more intentional with you guys as coaches so that I can better lead you. Because I think I actually have a few leadership skills that I'd like to share with you. But I sometimes just get distracted with other stuff. And then I'm like, I don't want to waste your time. So if I don't have anything to say, we won't be having a meeting unless you guys want one. And I'll probably post that too. Like, hey, it's been a crazy week. I don't have much to say. Hope you guys are doing well. If you want to hop on, we can chit chat. If not, fine. But I want to be super intentional about these meetings and make them not only useful to you, but also something that you can walk away with some action steps and things to do with your business or your life or whatever it is, fitness, I don't know. Do y'all have any questions, comments? I'm going to get that. Kimberly, you have a summit ticket. Yes, we just discussed that. My brain's lost again. So I need to tell Rachel. I think that's it. Do y'all have anything y'all want to talk about or questions or promises that you're going to set some goals? Anyone?
I'm working on my goals with Shalene.
What's that?
I said I'm working on with my goals with Shalene. I've done my personal ones, so business are next.
Yay. Kimberly's in the hot seat now.
Well, I think that, so I went back through pictures from last year because, you know, there were a lot of those 9 square, you know, top photos or whatever. And I just kind of kept falling short, I guess. Like, we did some stuff, but it wasn't the most meaningful year. I think, you know, I was just kind of getting by a little bit. So now that I've kind of taken stock of 2018, I feel like I can start thinking about, okay, what could I have done last year? Not in a like beat myself up way, but just kind of taking stock and where I want to be, you know, this time next year. So that's why this transformation week thing that I'm doing with Brendan is helpful. And I decided to do that because I do want to use this planner and because he's just one of those people that fires me up. I mean, I love Shalene, but he kind of fires me up more. So I think some of it is also just finding those people that we plug into that really speak to our souls and speak to there's Miss Lizzie, girls. You know what I'm saying? You gotta have your people.
Okay, Lizzie, I see you're chatting. I'm going to answer some of your questions. So in that group that Kimberly's going to tag you in the details for, they talked about planners today specifically. And I think it was Bonnie that said she hit 15-star with a Target planner, like from Target.
The one you're going to use is the one that you should use.
What's that?
The one that you're going to use is the one that you should use.
Right. That's a good point. And yeah.
I think it was one of those two gals said that actually, like, looking at the Brendon Burchard one was just too overwhelming.
It was Bonnie.
There are too many steps, and I think that for me and for Kim and Stacy, I don't think you've done the Brendon Burchard thing yet. So, like, Stacy is really involved right now with Shalene, so the push journal might make sense.
Yeah.
Her.
Yeah, I have it. I don't like it.
Okay. But Kim and I did the high performance thing, and so we're kind of a little bit more in that Brendon Burchard framework, so that makes more sense. Season 4 of Brendon's show is his high performance habits book. And I think that to get the most out of the planner, maybe Lizzie, especially since you're on the road, listening to that season of the Brendon show might be helpful. And then you can kind of pick that. Otherwise, just looking at images on the web and coming up with your own. I remember you did that several years ago where you kind of came up with your own planner. So, maybe it's time to recreate something for yourself again.
Kimberly, did you tell Lizzie, did you say that it's season 4 of the Brendon show? Yeah. So the whole book, you guys, High Performance Habits, the whole book is on season 4 of the Brendon show. You don't have to buy the book if you don't want to. I have both a hard copy and I listened to it. It was really good. Yes, it is his podcast. Okay. I want to address your last comment. Oh, tracker. Then I'll address your last comment. I'm going to post the tracker from I don't remember what the group was. I don't know what's wrong with me. I can't remember the name. It doesn't matter. I'm going to post it. It's 2 pages. This was mine. Kimberly's, I think, is different. Mine was a business builder. I think Kimberly's, did you do the business starter? So maybe if you still have it, you can post pictures of that one as well. I think I gave it to you. I laminated it and gave it to you. So I'll have Kimberly post that in our team in the comments from this call. So I'm going to post that, and I'm going to post that framework thing too. Lizzie, I want to address your last question or your last comment. And the reason why I want to address it in a group setting, if you're okay with it, it's because I had the same experience that you did, not with exercise and before and after, but with my business. Okay. So I'm pissed at myself because I let my business go last year. I mean, I didn't drop rank. I kept my rank, but I did not grow at all. Like, I grew personally, and maybe that's what I needed to do last year, but my business itself did not grow. And it's because I kind of did the same thing. I just stopped building my business. So I get it. That doesn't mean that you have to be the same person you were last year. Okay. So you looked back at your pictures, you probably saw that those were probably the most liked pictures that you had too, maybe, or the most people that, that people were like, oh my gosh, because you did have some awesome pictures. I remember them. I can picture them in my head right now, actually. And your lifestyle is kind of crazy, but at the same time, it is a very good example of what you can do when you do work out and you do eat healthy. And, you drink your shake and whatever else, maybe I eat beach bars like they're going out of style. I love them and they're super good for traveling. But, maybe those are things that you can put in your goals, is that get back to who you were and who you're happy with. Because clearly with some of the comments that you've made this evening, you're not super happy with what's going on right now with your little self, because you're not a gray blob and you are awesome and people love you. But I think that's something that you need to reinforce with yourself. And I think a really good way to do that is to set some goals for yourself and really go back and look at them constantly and remind yourself of where you can be, and then take baby steps to get there. And I think you can get all of this back. All of the stuff that you had, you can get back. And I'm saying that from a place where I'm in the same place, just in a different part of my life. All of that momentum that I had at the end of 2017, I can get that back. I know I can get that back because I know how to do it. You know how to do this. You know how to get your fitness back. You know how to get it back. See, you haven't completely regressed. I'm reading your comments. But you know how to get that back. You've been there, so you know how to get it back. And in my mind, what I'm thinking of, and you can relate this to your fitness and nutrition journey too, is that not only do I know how to get that back, but if I get it back, I can surpass it. Wouldn't that be cool? Those things that you thought that were so great that you were maybe on the edge of getting, and then you let it go. You know how to get there. If you get there now and you start going and going and going and snowballing and snowballing and snowballing, you're not only going to get to the place, you're going to get past it. And it's interesting too. I will say this in my fitness journey this last year. So my fitness journey was the best it's ever been, 2018. My fitness and nutrition is the best it's ever been, but my business was not. It's like, and here's the thing, I don't want my fitness and nutrition to go by the wayside because I want to build my business. I can have both. And I know that, and I'm telling myself that I can have both. So I'm going to build on what I did well last year and do better this year. So not looking back at all the things that I screwed up and didn't do well, to let those things be in the past and keep them there, push them away, keep them in the past, and work on what's going to go well this year. Look back at the things that went well, do better, and then make goals so that at the end of the year or at this point next year, like Kimberly said, you can look back and say, I did that really well. I did that better than I had the year before. But you have to put the past behind you and let it stay there. Don't let what happened in 2018 affect what's going to happen in 2019, because you will end up being stuck in 2018. And for me, 2018, not such a great place for my business. So I don't want to be there. Fitness and nutrition, yes, but I don't want to be there for my business. So you have to, that was something we learned at Brennan too. You have to be able to work through that and put it away. Put it away. Move forward. Right? Does that help? But you haven't totally regressed. I mean, I've watched you. You're not totally regressed. But something else I'll tell you really quick that's super important for your goals and super important for any kind of success at any point, any area of your life, doesn't matter what it is, doesn't matter if it's business, it's personal, it's finances, is consistency. I want to put a word in the middle there, but I'm not going to because it's not a nice word and people, my family will laugh at me, but consistency. Seriously, you guys, you have to be consistent with everything that you do, with your fitness, with your nutrition, with reaching out to people, with posting, with doing your stories, with all this, right? Thank you. Yes, that is what I wanted to say, but I've got children in here. So yes, it is so stinking important. And if you can write out your goals and then be consistent with everything, can you imagine what 2019 is going to be like?
That's my word for the year.
It is a very simple concept. Do it all the time. That's it. That's it.
That's my word for the year. And I posted that. So call me on my shit if you see me not being consistent. Call me on it.
Okay. But seriously, it is a very simple, it's very hard to do, but it is a very simple concept, and it's funny because you can be super consistent in one area and suck in another area. But
I was not consistent with anything last year. Nothing.
I was in some areas, and it blows me away that I can be so consistent in my fitness and nutrition journey and not be consistent in another area. I'm like, seriously, why can't I just be consistent across the
Lizzie, that's great.
But it is like, I think it's something that I can do better at. So I think that's where I'm going to stop talking. I'm going to leave you guys with that word, consistent. You were consistent with your burritos. I saw them all in your stories with your recap of 2018. Your word for 2018 was burritos. You don't have to put that behind you. That was actually a good thing. So that's hilarious. So that's it. I just want this year to be different than last year for all of us, because I think it was a tough year for a lot of reasons, but it doesn't have to be tough. 2019 does not have to be like 2018, but we have to do something about it. You know what? And that's okay. you can continue to be consistent with your Chardonnay. In that group that we're in, they have is it Thursdays? The wine down? Not a wind down. They're calling it a wine down. That's what they're calling it. I know. So,
I know it's like shout out or something.
Oh, Thursdays. That may be Wednesday or Friday. I don't know. I'll get there. I'll figure that out. I'll be consistent with it.
At 6 a.m. Eastern.
Right. So that's what I said. Like, well, that's 4 a.m. my time, so not gonna happen here. But I'll be 10 a.m. Eastern is when I'm gonna work out. So anyway, all right. So 2 weeks from now, I would love to hear that you guys have set some goals and that you have also looked at planning your days out. I'm gonna leave it at that. We will also have started our group. I think I think we'll do a 5-day group. How about 5 days for the abs? And we'll be cooking. And in the meantime,
Sorry, I missed the very beginning.
Oh, I already put you down for it, so it doesn't matter. We're doing an ab group, 5 days, starting on Monday. Monday the 14th, sorry.
Day after my birthday.
So we'll start Monday the 14th, and it'll be 5 days. But I did say also go through your people that you added to the last group and make sure that you message them and tell them about the next free group, and also that they can be part of our accountability group if they want to, but they got to get all the info. Okay. Yay! All right. I'm glad you guys were here. It's super awesome to see your faces, even though I only saw Lizzie's faces for a second. Oh, there it is again. See it. And I saw Rachel's door or something for a second, so that was nice. All right.
Every time I turn on the video, you guys go away, so I had to turn it off.
That's fair.
So that I could actually listen.
Okay. All right. I recorded this, so I will put it on a YouTube thingy and put it in the team page if you need to revisit or you want to share it with some of your peoples. And that is all. All right, you guys. That's it. Have a good night. Good to see everybody. Lizzie, your hair is very long. Oops. Siri's playing with my hair. Okay.